G'day guys and welcome back to Ados the Great YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video we will go over how I went in round 17 for my tips, and then we'll go through my round 18 tips for this weekend's action. So we got 5 out of 7 last week. Let's go through game by game and see how well we did. Starting things off, I took the Warriors to beat the Dragons. I took them by 18 here. I thought they'd get a pretty decent win, but they won by 30. So really, really strong win there for the Warriors. You know, they should be absolutely proud with this win and how they're going this season. They have been outstanding so far this year and definitely deserve all the praise. Next up, I took the Eels to beat the Dolphins. I thought the Eels would get a win here. I thought it would be a little bit closer. The Eels got out to like a 42-4 lead at halftime. It was insane. I could not believe it. But credit to the Eels, they kept that. Well, they didn't keep the momentum. The Dolphins sort of swung it a little bit and won the second half. But you know, the Eels still got a good win, so credit to them for that. Back the Panthers to beat the Knights. Look, the Panthers, even when the Panthers had all of their Origin players ruled out, I still thought the Panthers would win it. I have originally tipped them 13 plus, but then changed that when I found out that their Origin players were going to be out. All right. Manly against the Storm. I backed Melbourne in this one. I thought they'd get the job done here. Didn't think it'd be a flogging because these games between these two sides are always relatively close, and I think it was closer than what the scoreline suggests. Next up, Broncos and Titans. Took the Broncos at home. Crazy to think the Titans won this one. Insane. But credit to the Titans, well-deserved win. David Fafita was outstanding on the weekend. So good. And Broncos could be without Walshy. So, yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. Next game, I took my Rabbitohs to beat the Cowboys. It was the obvious tip, but unfortunately the Cowboys way too good. We need to start to find our form again. Otherwise, we definitely could be out of the top 8. That is insane to say. Like, that's so insane to think about, but it's definitely a possibility. And then finally, I backed the Raiders to beat the Roosters. Got that one right. So these two tips killed me. But 5 out of 7, not too bad. We move on to round 18. First game, Sharks against the Dragons. Look, straight away, Sharks win this one and win it well, in my opinion. Dragons are in turmoil. Ben Hunt tried to get a release. Dragons denied it, and they continue to deny the release. So I think Sharks win this one, 13 plus. Very easy win, in my opinion, for Cronulla. All right, next up, we've got the Warriors against the Rabbitohs. I'd be very surprised if more tipsters were tipping the Bunnies here. Yeah, they're not. Look, I've got to pick my boys here. I've got to tip the Rabbitohs. But I tell you what, man, I think the Warriors win this one. I really do. So I am going to back my Rabbitohs here 1-12. But at New Zealand, Warriors in some really good form. Rabbitohs struggling. I can't see the Rabbitohs winning this game. Obviously, I'm tipping them because I never tip against my boys. But yeah, I think Warriors win and probably win well, to be honest. All right, next up, we've got the Storm against the Panthers. I think this is the game of the round. Honestly, I really do. I think this one's going to be so competitive. Munster back for the Storm. Panthers get their Origin troops back. I think this is going to be such a close game. I am tipping Storm in this one. I'm tipping them 1-12 margin. I think it'll be a relatively close game, but I do think Storm at home are going to be too strong for the Panthers, which would mean the Panthers drop out of the top of the table. So that would be very interesting to see. All right, next up, we've got the Raiders and the Titans. Look, I definitely think this is a game the Titans can win. Especially when their back's against the wall, they seem to come out and pull a rabbit out of the hat there, but I do think Raiders win this one. I'm going to go by 10. We don't see the Raiders get 13 plus wins very often, so I think they will get a solid win at home. But yeah, I'm not I'm not confident in that tip by any means. Cowboys bounce back. Look, well, not bounce back, but you know what I mean. After that loss to the Tigers a few weeks ago, I think it's going to be a completely different result this weekend. I think Cowboys win this one 13 plus. I think it's going to be an easy win there for the Cowboys. Next up, Broncos and Dolphins. I'm tipping the Broncos in this one. I do think it will probably be a 13 plus win. I think the Dolphins are finally sort of coming to earth now, and we're starting to see them struggle a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong, Hammer was outstanding last week, but yeah, I can't see a world where the Dolphins beat the Broncos in this one. So I am backing the Broncos there. That one I think will be a 13 plus win to the Broncos. Next up, we've got the Bulldogs against the Knights. I think this one's going to be a really close game. What are the fans tipping? They're tipping the Knights here. Now, the Bulldogs get Matt Burton back. They're coming off a bye. The Knights, they got that loss to Penrith with all their players there. I generally think the Bulldogs win this one. I'm tipping another upset here, and I'm backing the Bulldogs at home to get a win over the Knights there. Definitely a bold pick, and I may change that later in the week once the team lists come out. But as always, I will let you know if I do change that tip. But for now, I am backing the Dogs over the Knights. And then finally, Manly against the Roosters. Look, I think most people will tip the Roosters. No. Look, they've got obviously over 50%, so the majority are tipping the Roosters. But, I credit to Manly, man. I think Manly can win this game. I really do. I thought Manly was strong against the Storm. And the Roosters are really struggling at the moment, and they've got, Egan Butcher is out next week. I can't remember, someone else is out as well. They will welcome back a couple of players, but I think that with Daly Cherry Evans there leading the way, I think Manly are every chance at winning this game. So I am going to tip Manly in that one. So let's go over my tips once more. Sharks are 1-12 over the Dragons. Rabbitohs 1-12 over the Warriors. However, I do think the Warriors win that. Storm 1-12 over the Panthers. Raiders 1-12 over the Titans. Cowboys 13 plus. Broncos 13 plus. I'm going to change. I'm going to tip the Knights. I should tip the Dogs. I don't know about this one yet. I think I'm going to stick with the Knights here. Was going to tip the Dogs, but I'm changing it. I'm going to tip the Knights 1-12. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I'm backing Manly over the Roosters 1-12. Let me know who you're tipping down below in the comments, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And as always, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.